Welcome back, everyone. So, to kick off the new Hero 2 format, since that's going to be a big thing at Worlds for this year for side events and moving forward as a new supported format, I thought I'd take a look at one of my first favorite characters from the very first My Hero Academia set, and that would be Tomura Shigaraki. So this is Tomura 1, the first Shigaraki ever printed. He's a 6 hand size 28 health character with Death, Evil, and Fire. He's got 2 responses. The first is once per turn, after your non-throw attack deals damage, your rival loses 5 health. That's a lot of health to lose, and this can reduce your rival to 0 health. We also have response commit. After you completely block an attack, your rival sacrifices 1 ready foundation. And it has to be ready. They don't just get to choose a committed foundation or a committed face down. They lose a ready resource if you completely block an attack. So this character's really, really strong, and obviously your non-throw attack has to deal damage. So I chose a bunch of attacks that are either really hard to block or that deal damage no matter what. And we're going to start with Overwhelming Gravity Beam. This is a King Ghidorah card from the Challenger series. It is a 5/3, 1 mid for 5, 3 low block with the ranged keyword. As a first enhance, so the first enhance that we play during this attack, if this attack is blocked, it still deals half damage rounded up. So it's got throw properties, but isn't a throw. This will always trigger Shigaraki's 5 damage. So if they completely block it as is, it deals 3 damage, and then your rival loses 5 health. So 8 damage on 1 attack. Pretty good. And of course, another Ghidorah card, we have Tri-Gravity Beam, a 4/3, 4 mid for 5 with a 1 mid block. Deadlock Stun 3, which means if our rival has at least 11 foundations, we activate our Stun 3, which says our rival has to commit 3 foundations. It also has the ranged keyword. As an enhance, if we sacrifice 1 foundation, if we have 2 other cards in our card pool, we get to look at our rival's hand and remove 1 card from it. So we get to look at their hand and say, oh, you have 1 mid block? No, you don't. So you have to partial block this attack, which means you're going to take the extra 5 from Shigaraki. And then an enhance, if at least one of our other cards has been removed this turn, this attack gets +2 damage. So that means if we remove for cost or remove for effect. And we do have some removal costs here. Next up, we have Corrosion Lunge. This is a cool one because it doesn't care if it's blocked or not. It's a 5/3, 3 low for 5, 3 low block with Fury. As an enhance, if this attack is blocked, our next attack this turn gets +2 speed and +2 damage. So they fully block this one. Cool. Our next one is faster and stronger. And as a Deadlock enhance, if this attack is completely blocked, it still deals 3 damage. So there again, if our rival is pushed to Deadlock, we get to always deal damage. We have Float Combo and Uraraka attack from the My Hero Academia Set 1 DLC, I believe. It is a 5/3, 6 high for 4, pretty fast, 2 high block, ranged, and it combos with a high attack, which means to use our combo enhance, this attack has to be following a high attack in our card pool. So high attack, float combo, which we don't. I think we don't have any other high attacks, so we're not worried about the combo enhance, which is switching this attack speed and damage. Becomes a 4 high 6. That's fine. It's mainly here for the enhance. If this attack is completely blocked, it still deals 1 damage, which means they fully block this 6 high move. We're going to deal 1, and Shigaraki deals 5. But we also have some very difficult attacks to block. Attack Titan's Haymaker, a 5/3, 4 mid for 5, 2 high block, shift, stun 2, punch, and Titan. And it shifts into Aaron's Determination, which means if we play it during our turn, at the end of the turn, we may choose to build it transformed when we were clearing it from our card pool, instead of, say, putting it to momentum or sending it to the discard pile. And the foundation side is enhance mill 1, your attack gets +1 damage, but if we have 10 or less health, it gets +2 damage instead. But the blitz on excuse me, the blitz on this attack makes it harder to block. It says this attack cannot be blocked by cards with a printed difficulty of 2 or less, which means your rival's likely going to have to give up an attack most of the times to block this attack. Which is fine, because then that's one less attack that's hitting you on their next turn. And then we have Besiege, a 3/3, 3 mid for 4, 1 mid block, charge, and fury. As a blitz, this attack can only be blocked by cards that have a printed block modifier of 3 or greater, which means the later we throw this into a string, the harder it's going to be to block. And then it goes through, deals 4 damage minimum, and then Shigaraki deals an extra 5. That's 9 damage on a 3 difficulty move. Pretty solid. And if our rival is in deadlock, we get this deadlock blitz. This attack gets +4 damage. Pretty good. But another good way to make sure our rival can't block our attacks is check hacking. So I threw in Wipe Out All Humans, which kind of fits the bill. It is a 5 difficulty, 6 control, no block, action card. It's a scheme, and as such, as a static, it does not count towards our progressive difficulty, which is good. As a first form, so the first thing we want to do after drawing our hand is to play this card's first form, our rival's next check gets -2, which means their check to block, which means it's going to be harder for them to block our attacks. And as an enhance, while this card is in our card pool, we get to give each of our attacks +2 damage. So we're making our attacks stronger, making it harder to block, and trying to guarantee that we can get that extra 5 burn damage. We can also boost our speed with Evil Gaze, a 0/5, 1 mid block with Breaker 1. Breaker 1 is a responsibility that says after we block with this card, our rival's next check to play a card gets -1, and failing that check will end their combat phase. But as an enhance, we can lose 2 health. This attack gets +2 or -2 speed, so our attack gets faster, their attack gets slower. If this attack is blocked, we get to selectively destroy one rival foundation, and then we remove Evil Gaze from the game. So this is a good way to trigger our Tri-Gravity Beam's damage boost, but we give our attack 2 speed. If our rival blocks it, we get to selectively destroy their best defensive piece. Or, we give our rival's attack -2 speed, we completely block it, we get to destroy their best ready foundation, and they have to sacrifice a ready foundation thanks to Shigaraki. And then we have a deadlock enhance. We get to just destroy any rival foundation that we want, and then remove Evil Gaze from the game. Onto our foundation base, we have Driven by Retribution, a 3/5, 2 mid block. Response remove after we take damage, so blocked attack, unblocked attack, partially blocked attack. If we take damage, we get to remove 1 card in our rival's card pool, usually the attack that just dealt the damage, and then we get to add any card from our rival's stage to their card pool. So we get to debuild them any ready foundation that we want. And then we completely block an attack, and they have to give up another ready foundation. Just completely debuilding our rival so they can't block on our turn. We have Moment of Normalcy, a 2/5 with a 3 high block and the unique keyword, meaning we can only have 1 in our stage. Enhanced Commit, return this attack to its printed speed or damage. Very good defensive piece here. We have Eaten by the Bearded Titan, a 2/5 with a 3 high block with Enhanced Tenacious, or playable while this card is committed. We sacrifice Eaten by the Bearded Titan. This attack gets -3 speed, so kind of guaranteeing that we're going to try to block something. Excuse me. Next up, a cheeky copy of Monster Zero, a 3/5 with a 1 mid block. Enhanced during our turn, we can remove Monster Zero. Our rival removes 1 card from their hand. And if they have 8 or more foundations, our attack gets +3 damage. Spoiler alert, they're likely not going to have 8 or more foundations, but it's mainly here to rip a resource out of their hand so they can't block our onslaught. We have Ready to Go, a 1/5, 2 mid block, A Tenacious response that says flip after your rival loses health due to an effect, ready this card. So we get to ready this after our 5 damage from Shigaraki kicks in. We have Keiko's Aid, a 2/5 with a 3 high block. Response flip. After we block an attack, our rival's next attack gets +2 difficulty. This is really good when we're perfect blocking things, so that we can force our rival to get rid of their ready foundations. We have Syndicate Target, a 0/6, 0 low block. Just all around great stats card. Even if after we block with it, we lose a health. Excuse me. We have a fun copy of Nothing to See Here, a 2/5, 3 mid block. Enhance commit if your mid attack or fury attack is completely blocked, your rival destroys 1 foundation. They have to sacrifice a foundation after blocking our attack. So we say, hey, all of these attacks except for float combo are mids and corrosive lunge, but that is a fury. So the only ability this doesn't work with is float combo. But we say, hey, if you don't want to take that 5 damage from Shigaraki, you're going to have to give up a foundation. Sorry. And then we can enhance, spend 1 momentum. This attack gets -3 speed. So more speed hate and a good use of our momentum, since we don't really have a lot of powerful or EX. We can just use it to just hate on our rival's speed so we can completely block something and then force them to lose another foundation. We have Graceful Maneuvers, a 2/5, 3 mid block. Enhanced commit. This attack gets -2 speed and an additional -1 speed for each card in our card pool. So our block is going to ignore progressive difficulty pretty much, and we get an additional -2 speed on top of that. Speaking of blocking, we have Struggling with Studies, a 1/5 with a 3 low block. Enhanced flip. If this is your rival's 3rd or greater attack this combat phase, add 1 card from your card pool to your hand. We get to pick up a block and do it again. And then we have Response. Before one of our foundations would be flipped due to a rival effect, we get to flip Struggling with Studies instead. So a little bit of a protection of our more key abilities. We have Surviving the Final, a 0/5 with a 3 high block. Enhanced once per turn. This attack gets -1 speed. So just, again, we want speed hate. We want to block their attacks. We have Keen Observation, a 0/5 with a 2 high block. Enhanced flip. After our rival loses health due to an effect, they lose an additional 1 health. But this Keen Observation's loss cannot reduce our rival below 1 health. But that does say, hey, I hit you with an attack, you're going to take 5 and then additional 1 or 2, depending on how many I have of Keen Observation. That's a lot of extra damage from one single attack, like a poke. Like if I'm just poking with Overwhelming Gravity Beam, you're taking a minimum of like 8 damage plus any number of these Keen Observations. That's pretty crazy. We have Someone with Style, a 2/5, 2 high block. Response, sacrifice. After this foundation is committed due to a stun ability, reduce our rival's attack speed to 0. And that is a Tenacious ability. So they stun us, we set their speed to 0. Then we have Enhance once per turn, Tenacious, sacrifice 1 foundation, ready this foundation. So we get to just give up our committed foundations we've already used to keep readying Someone with Style. We have Villainous Entrance, a 1/5 with a 3 low block. We can enhance commit. Our Fury attack gains stun 1. This is great for Besiege, Corrosion Lunge, Besiege and Corrosion Lunge. That is it. But we get to give these attacks stun 1, which is fine. It's mainly in here as a spam with a low block. And then response flip. After our rival builds a foundation during the combat phase, we commit it. And that is a Tenacious ability. So if our rival's trying to build during their turn, like midway through their turn or even during our turn, to make up for our foundation destruction, we can just tell them to commit those cards. They don't get to access them just yet. Next we have Brute Strength, a 2/5 with a 2 high block. Enhance, lose 1 health, your attack gets +1 damage. Good rate. And then enhance, sacrifice 1 foundation, your attack gets +1 damage. So if we know our rival's not going to block something, because maybe we peeked at their hand with Tri-Gravity Beam, or they just have no cards in their hand, or they just can't possibly block based on our committing and getting rid of their foundations, we can just pour all of our resources into damage. And then split body control to really punish our rival for blocking. A 2/5, 3 low block, response flip after our attack is blocked. We selectively flip one rival foundation. So we're destroying their foundations, we're forcing them to give up their foundations, and we're flipping the ones they're choosing to keep. This is a disgusting character for Hero 2. And this was just after a little bit of thought. I can only imagine honing this into just a very dangerous... Like, you could probably do this on the evil symbol, because you still get the Besiege and the Overwhelming Gravity Beam. I picked Death mainly for the float combo, so I have an additional instance of this attack still deals 1 damage. But I can definitely see going on an evil symbol, using like Shigaraki 3 support, because, or you could also do Shigaraki 3 support on Death, I suppose, to constantly force your rival to make checks. But also, you could play Shigaraki 3 in Shigaraki 1. I believe we can still do hero stacking in, no, I guess we can't do hero stacking in Hero 2. I think that's only a retro thing. I might have to go back and read the rules, but I'm pretty sure you cannot stack in Hero 2. Even though, although they still have the control and the difficulty. I think I may have breezed through the rules a little too quickly on that one. I need to see if we can character stack, because if you can stack Shigaraki 3 and all of his check hacking with Shigaraki 1 and the burn damage, that's just gross. That is just gross. But what do you guys think? Who are you excited to play in Hero 2? I know I've been looking at a lot of the older, like mainly just the My Hero Set 1 characters, because a lot of them are really, really powerful. But I think there's a lot of My Hero Set 1 support cards that work really well in modern characters. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.